What's up, everybody? We're here live today, Friday, December 13th. What a good luck day. Um, so I've been watching, there's been a lot of crazy stuff on the news the last couple of days. And we've reached out to a couple more mayors. We reached out to Murphy's office. Nobody's taking us up on coming on. That's fine. I got a couple people that may join us in a little bit. We'll see what happens with it, but we got a lot of updates from the Fed where they're insisting that there is nobody, nobody to no, there's nothing to worry about, right? We have no clue what's going on whatsoever, but there's nothing to worry about. So I don't know how that works. That we don't have to worry about anything. But I guess is it like we're like an ostrich? We stick our head in the sand, and what we don't know won't hurt us. I guess I don't know how it works. But watching all over the news and everything that's been going on, there's really been a lot. And first thing I want to touch into is CBS did a report this evening about 6 hours ago. So I want to bring that right in and just roll that for you.
While there is no known malicious activity occurring, the reported sightings there do, however, highlight a gap in authorities. And so we urge Congress to pass important legislation that will extend and expand existing counter-drone authorities so that we are better prepared to identify and mitigate any potential threats to airports or other critical infrastructure, and so that state...
That statement alone, to further give them the authority to... Don't they fucking already have it? I mean, if another army or something's coming over, we got to wait to ask for permission to defend ourselves. Just because we don't have a clear-cut answer on what this is, or they don't know what this is, or we don't know what it is, but clearly they're assuming it's not our own military. So why would we need to set up countermeasures, authority, get a committee going and everything else? It really baffles my mind.
And local authorities are provided all the tools that they need to respond to such threats as well.
Our CBS News national investigative correspondent Tom Hansen met with a drone unit expert. Tom, a wingspan of 8 feet, and then you just hear him use the term potential threats. What do you make of all of this?
Yeah, well, Reed, that's exactly right. These are huge devices that are hovering out in the sky, and we don't still know who they are coming from, where they are coming from, what they're doing here. But what I can tell you is that obviously the size of these devices is a huge concern, because a lot of people are asking out there, why not just shoot them down? And, even the sheriff that we met up with this past night, he said that given the chance, he would shoot one down too. But these are public safety concerns. Think of, that Mini Cooper, that small car falling from 1,000 feet in the air. That could do some serious damage to anyone who's beneath it. And sorry, my earpiece is falling out here. But basically, that is front of mind, no doubt, for all authorities here. But we still don't have the answers as to who's behind this. We do know that these are sophisticated things. Another thing the sheriff told me was that basically these drones have been able to outmaneuver the police drones, meaning they are moving faster than the police drones, which can reach a max speed of 40 miles per hour. They estimate that these drones can travel even faster, all the way up to 60 miles an hour. So they are moving quickly at laser speed through the sky.
Tom, we're also hearing of some letters.
Yeah, so obviously there's some major tech behind this, right? It's definitely this isn't gonna be like a company that's doing surveys. So you could take all that shit off the table. They're not mapping anything out for legitimate business. Whatever reason they're there for is definitely for no good. Some people are saying, well, they're following some of the FAA guidelines because they got the flashing lights and stuff like that. Well, maybe that's just a decoy so that not as many are being picked up as what they should be, because it looks like they're blending in more. So now there's some confusion between smaller aircraft, larger aircraft, and these drones. But there's definitely something weird going on here that shouldn't be. And it's kind of fucked up, and it's, you know, it's getting to the point where it is getting a little scary, and the reports are just getting stronger and stronger. There's more and more, and now it's getting spread out. It's, you know, we're hearing about these over in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania now. You know, which is a little bit of a ways now from the Jersey Shore. The range and reach on these things we know is really far. So that's, you know, it's, we already know that. It's the fact that they're heading in towards Pennsylvania now. I heard of a report they're up in Connecticut, and they're, you know, as far down near me, right outside of Philadelphia. Let's finish hearing what John Kirby has to say here.
Fired off by key senators to the FAA, the Department of Homeland Security, even the FBI. Who sent those letters, and what are they demanding?
Yeah, a coalition of 4 senators from New Jersey and New York. They've banded together to push the FAA, FBI, and DHS to get some answers. They want to hear exactly what those federal government agencies are doing with municipal governments in order to get to the bottom of this growing mystery that seems to, you know, continue to grow in complexity as well. So, you know, that really is the basis of their letter. It was to issue frustration. It was to express concern for the public and for instance, critical operations within the public, like medevac helicopters. That was specifically referenced in that letter. So there is mounting frustration. They want answers. And clearly, it just adds another group of people who don't have any answers as to what's going on.
All right, so we're going to go even deeper, Tom. Speaking of lawmakers, New York officials in Staten Island held a news conference earlier calling for answers, too. Just to add to the conversation, let's listen to this.
Just be straight with us. Tell us what it is. And let's address it the best possible way so we can calm everyone down and make sure that these don't pose a threat to our national security and public safety. Because even if it is not nefarious, the fact that these things are flying all over is a public safety issue. There can be an accident. There could be an explosion. There could be a crash. This is a very densely populated area. And going back to the FAA restrictions, you cannot be flying these things above and around buildings if it's commercial or recreational. So something's not right here, and we need our government to give us.
You know, so listening to what she's saying, right, about buildings and flying it around. Did we fucking forget about 9/11 when 2 planes got flown into a building, and now we're just going to let drones freely fly around? This is crazy. What happened to say something, you know, see something, say something, and things being taken care of? We're like really asleep at the wheel here. This is completely insane. And the other thing too is I saw a video, and I'll try to bring it up while this is running. Some fucking jerk shooting at one of the drones, and everybody's like, "Yeah, what a great idea, shoot at the drone." But no, not like that. This was like a guy. I don't know if he was shooting a 9mm or something, but he was shooting up at the drone, and he's just firing away, and God knows where these fucking bullets are ending up because he's not shooting straight up. He's shooting on an angle, so they're going somewhere. But let's finish hearing what this chick over here from New York has to say.
So that this does not continue, and enforce the existing regulations and restrictions. And that means our government needs to follow those rules as well.
Yeah, to borrow her words, Tom, something's not right. And really, you've been covering this story from the very beginning. It's like this drumbeat gets louder and louder. Lawmakers frustrated, the public frustrated. They want answers, any timeline as to when some of these letters fired off or some of these calls at news conferences could get answered with some answers.
Well, we know that the FBI is working in tandem with the municipal governments, but beyond that, we are getting so many conflicting theories as to where these drones are coming from. You know, it's abundantly clear that no one really has an answer right now. You heard John Kirby saying that it's not a threat to national security, yet you have representatives on Capitol Hill saying that it is a foreign adversary. You have, you know, just a lot of different theories out there, but not a lot of evidence. And all of these things have been followed up with a request for concrete factual evidence And it just seems more and more, to that drumbeat analogy that you said, that we may finally get answers once one of these drones crashes into the ground or lands and is secured by law enforcement, but we are still waiting for that to happen. Once there can be forensics run on these drones, which are, as I mentioned, so highly sophisticated and can move so quickly, this is not a hobbyist using these drones. That is abundantly clear to law enforcement. Once we can run forensics on these drones, then the answers will become clearer as to who, where, and why they are here.
First, New Jersey, now 4 states in total. Tom Hansen, thank you so much for investigating.
Well, there you have it, right? Now there's 4 more states involved. So it's completely out of control. So what I think we're seeing is we have a lot of disinformation, and I'm not a conspiracy guy or any of that. I don't think our own government's out to get us, or any of that shit. But I couldn't think of it from the other day that there's a movie. It's on Netflix with Julia Roberts called Leave the World Behind. That whole movie on Netflix was based on disinformation, causing chaos and then having disinformation. And that's what we have. So, we have a very disinformed government. All our branches of government are not communicating with each other properly. They're all pushing this information off to each other, saying there's nothing wrong. We're not telling you what's going on, and so forth. And I mean, that's what we're looking at. So when you get a chance, check out that movie, Leave the World Behind, with Julia Roberts. It's a great movie on the topic. I want to show you this video of this friggin' jerk shooting at a drone, and this is really what not to do, because this was terrible. And you know what? It's not loading. I wonder if somebody took it off, because I cannot get it to load. All right. Well, I guess that's the end of that. So, well, as anybody wants to join in, has to chime in, has any questions or comments, they want to add anything, please, by all means. I know there's a lot of people out there that are drone hunting right now. You can join the broadcast at this link over here. You can text me at 856-558-3464, and we'll be more than happy to bring you in. I don't really have a lot more to say on this. I was hoping to have some other people come in and discuss. I don't want to add to the fear mongering and everything else that's going on with it. It's been crazy enough. So, there you have it. It's saying, so that's the from Monmouth County. That's Sheriff Sean Golden, and he's saying, why are we not doing anything? And the FAA clearly has the authority to shut down the skies. We can reroute airplane traffic for an evening. Is it going to cause a lot of tie-ups? Everything else, sure, but it's not like we're going to do a complete shutdown like we did when we had COVID. Shut down for a night. Let's see what's going on. Nothing belongs in there, and we can do what we can do. And we're just not doing it. Why are we not doing it? Is it because people don't believe, they don't buy in? I've been looking at a lot of videos. Honestly, a lot of them look like regular airplanes. I mean, they probably are, but at the same time, there's a lot that aren't. Been watching the different beach cams and seeing what I could see, and watching this one here, the OBA-1 beach cam, and a lot of people said they saw a lot of action on this one yesterday and earlier today. I don't know why it's so shitty and grainy now. It just figures. But so it's running right now. I don't see anything happening in the sky. Like I said, if anybody wants to join live, um, come on in. Tell us what you're seeing, what you hear, what you know. I got quite a bit of videos I got to upload to YouTube that've been sent to us. So we're at njmdlsi@gmail.com. If you have anything that you want to share, a video, a story, or something, and we'll upload it onto the YouTube channel. Yep. So let's go back over to so this was the alleged drone crash, as we found out later in the day, because this was many hours ago. This wasn't true, but if you look at the amount of emergency response vehicles to what would have been a drone crash, there's quite a bit. So people are definitely afraid, and some of the local government has no clue what's going on, because this response is so heavy that they have no clue. They're not sure. So I guess they didn't want to take any chances, and they brought hazmat in, because we don't know if these things are carrying a payload of chemicals. We don't know if they're carrying a payload of radiation. So let's just take a look at this clip. A lot of resources there. Yep. Pausing for a second. I'm reading through the comments, and somebody, Delton Ramsey, wrote, "That's a lot of emergency personnel for them to be continuously telling us these drones pose no threat." And I agree with them. That is a lot of resources going in to something that poses no threat. They don't throw that kind of resource at shit if they don't think there's any threat. So here's the other thing too, right? They say nothing turned up or nothing credible. They spent enough time there. Maybe they did find something. Maybe they're not telling us. Again, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist guy, but it's very possible. There's a lot of people, a lot of stuff going on there. So I'm wondering if something was found and they're not telling us. It's all creepy. Here's the video of that guy shooting the drone. Now, clearly, this drone is pretty far away. If in fact it's even a drone, it is so far. And this is definitely not a pellet gun. This is something heavier. But honestly, this guy's a fucking idiot, because this isn't the right thing to be doing. reloading. It's just clearly he missed. He sees that drone is over neighborhoods. Um, if that was a plane and it's hitting, the engine of fuselage or something, God knows hundreds of people could be killed. Just a major fucking idiot. But clearly that's something that we don't want to be doing. I'm not against taking them down, but not like that. That's definitely not the way to go. This is a plane that crashed in Westchester County. Not a drone. It's a plane. Now this is a little creepy. Um, doesn't look like there's any moving parts on that or any rotors or anything. Definitely looks like something that would be considered a drone or a foreign flying object or unmanned. Doesn't belong in our airspace though. But as you can see, this thing is flying clearly over a city, so it doesn't. We can't just be shooting stuff down without causing a shit ton of collateral damage. Absolutely crazy. What do you think? You think it's real? Yeah. So this is where they say the police scanner says 10 more drones showed up at the site when the drone crashed. Change it to a welfare check. They're not going to somebody's house to see if they're okay. So here's a video from Sour Marcus. It says there's drones over Philly this morning. Clearly to the right of that was, that was definitely a helicopter. We heard it go by. That's not a drone. So that's more of the bullshit misinformation we got. So Murphy's taking his concerns directly to Biden, which, not to get political again, but Biden doesn't give a shit. He's on his way out. All right. He's already released his son from any crime he may have committed, any crime that we know of, or we don't know of yet. The guy's checked out. He checked out months ago. The fact that Murphy can't pick up the phone and just call and get something done is a little ridiculous. He's got to send a letter. Um, the bureaucracy that we have here in this country is ridiculous. The red tape. This is an emergent situation. Again, I'm personally, I would say, if I was the president of the United States, this is an act of war. Trump made a statement that we need to shoot these things down. It's not January 20th yet. He's not in office. He doesn't have the power, the authority yet. In a month from now, we can have a totally different situation on our hands with these drones. We don't know what's to come or anything else. It's a little much. So here's a video of the jet chasing a drone allegedly. This seems a little Hollywoodish, a little fake to me. I think something this big, all the TV stations would have picked this up immediately. Yeah, back to a lot of the same nonsense. Um, it's just one thing after the other. Well, I don't really have too much more on this. I'm not seeing a lot out of the groups, so I guess it's a little quiet tonight. I don't know what else I could show you that would help. Um, yeah, just see if I bring it real quick. This was sent to me. See if I can get that back. Reporting an entire fleet. Don't know how true it is or not. Uh, Looks kind of real. Hard to tell. But a lot of nonsense. Anybody in the chat want to ask any questions or anything? Oh, so this was the video here. Let me put this on. Is this the So this is our newly elected Senator Andy Kim, um, or re-elected. But I saw a video of him earlier today where he said he personally, with his own phone, had recorded a bunch of stuff. I feel like Andy Kim's a very credible guy. I don't know him. I know some of his stuff that he stands for, his platform, but he seems to be pretty reasonable. That's what it's about, folks. I'm telling you. I think it's just going to be a lot of disinformation, and that's what we're looking at. It's the look over here, and this hand's doing something else over here. It's just a lot of craziness. It just doesn't seem to end, though. It's quite a bit. Well, I think I'm going to shut it down for the night. We're going to come back again in a couple of days and go from there. Um, but not the governor. Yeah. Well, that's what we're dealing with, folks. I don't know what just. Sorry about that, Skip. Right now, she's like, fuck this guy who opened the goddamn can of worms. Well, I haven't seen a rebuttal from Van Drew. I think somebody said something about he was doubling down. I'm not quite sure. If anybody knows of Van Drew making a rebuttal as to what he says or withdrawing what he said. But like I shared the other night, somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. Oh wait, here you go. New Jersey rep Jeff Van Drew doubles down. Okay. Let's see if I can get this up on the screen for you folks here. Yeah, we got to go through the ads. All right, let's see what Van Drew says. No, he's telling you weakness, stupidity, and intolerable. I mean, and he's right. This is our government. This is our airspace. This is the people we vote for to protect us. And it ain't happening. I'm glad everybody pays their taxes. Just a bunch of fucking craziness. All right. Well, we're going to shut it down for tonight. We're going to reschedule again for next week when we get some more developments. We're going to gather some more information and see what we can get from there. I did want to try to bring up what Trump was saying. He basically said shut him down. And you got to kind of agree with it. Fucking everything's an ad.
What we're seeing now is lawmakers,
Hey,
especially
we're
those
just,
from New York.
Can you hear me? You muted yourself.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Thanks.
How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming in, Rebecca. I reached out to the other day because you had posted some stuff, and you were collecting information also. So I basically right now is just going over some of the latest videos and We're talking about Van Drew doubling down on the fact that this is not our government. We should be doing something about it. And it's just getting ready to play the information about Trump saying, we definitely got to do something. But unfortunately for us, January 20th is going to be, it's too late. It's a month and a week away. So we won't have time. So since you called in, what's your experience been with this so far?
Well, I was watching this for about a few weeks when it started circulating on social media that there were some sightings in New Jersey. So, as a spectator, I was watching, and I always stargaze. So I'm always, just looking at the moon or anything like that because my daughters love to see the sunset. So we were just driving home a week ago, and something flashing caught our eye. My daughters pointed it out from the car, and I'm like, yeah, there's something's flashing. So I pulled over a few blocks away from where I live, and I just took out my camera, and they all got down, and we just started like looking. And I was a little bit freaked out at what I was seeing, but
Sure.
I recognized what I was seeing from the videos I had seen from New Jersey. So it kind of gave me a little bit of context of what I was seeing. And then I just realized that this thing is not just isolated to there. One of the things that I noticed right away was that it was not just crafts. I was seeing this big thing of light, which I can only describe as an orb. And at that moment, this was Friday, I started seeing that same thing that I saw on the live stream, which is the one that went viral. That orb would start to pulsate, and little flashing things, I can only say they look like wings to me, would start to grow from it. And then it became a full blown craft. And then it would just start flying. And there was always smaller, really tiny orbs floating around it. That really blew my mind because this whole time I'm thinking this is maybe like a military drone operation, maybe like some secret drill that's happening, and we just don't know about it. Maybe the government is kind of keeping it hush hush. And that really just kind of warped my mind a little bit when I saw that.
Yeah, I'm sure. And not knowing, like, well, naturally works. We have fear of the unknown, and then just to see something creepy and scary like that. The fact that this drone kind of morphed some, and then looked like other drones coming out of it. I mean, can it align with what Van Drew's saying, just about a mothership with other drones, and then the drone that didn't crash in Hillsborough,
Hmm.
and more drones showed up? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, look, it's easy to make shit up. Sure, absolutely. But there's no gain here for me or for you to to talk about it. I'm not, we're not making any money or for this or whatever. We're talking about our true encounters and what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because when I started seeing this, my husband first saw it. Like, I was like, okay, something's up. I disappeared for a few minutes. I was supposed to get home, and he started calling and blowing up my phone, and I was recording, so I couldn't answer. And my, like I said, my daughters were with me, so they were also like, what is that, and this and that. So we parked, and he started looking. He's like, oh, those are just regular hobbyist drones. And it took him a few days to finally catch on and say, yeah, I don't think this is either a helicopter, an airplane, or drone. And we started growing a little bit concerned because it's literally hovering about 5 or 6 miles from Fort Lauderdale International Airport. And I was like, if these things enter the airspace, that can become a problem for pilots. So I immediately called the police, and I called actually called channels, WSVN, which is a Fox affiliate. I called the NBC affiliate, and they were like, I don't know, I felt like kind of stupid. I didn't feel like they took me serious. And it ignited in me this drive to want to show the entire picture.
Sure.
So that's why I said, all right, I'm going to go without my kids, because kind of like, it was kind of traumatizing them a little bit, seeing these things and me filming them constantly. So I was like, I need to just do it by myself. And that's when I did that. And now that video has almost 2 million views on X, because what I've been told is that it really showed, a lot of the videos that were circulating at first just showed like what looked like a physical craft.
Right.
And what I know was that phenomenon. So now I'm getting a lot of feedback from people especially on messages. So I speak to like 20 to 30 people a day, just telling me their stories. So this is causing a lot of people to feel alone, to feel like their family members think they're nuts. So, but they're seeing these things. So in a way, it's kind of connecting us who have had these experiences. I'm pretty much alone here in Florida. I don't know anybody else who's seen it. So I wanted to share, and this is landing me here with, speaking with you and your audience.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it, and I'm gonna put your link in the comments here. So everybody knows, Rebecca's not in New Jersey; she's in Plantation, Florida. So this isn't like a situation that's just unique to us. This is happening all over the coast. From what I understand, also hearing some other reports, this has been happening out in the Midwest for a while, and it's been happening out on the West Coast. So this isn't new to us at all, or anything else. So it's a lot, and I was glancing through your video. It's definitely very orb-like looking. Let me see if I can just bring your video in here real quick, and I'll leave your volume up, and you can talk to it.
Sure. They're not being seen on radar. They're obviously not typical drones. Okay, I don't think drones can do that. Shine these big spotlights in the middle of the sky and then touch with another orb and then take flight like that. It feels like it has an energy source of some kind. It also feels like it has some kind of cloaking. It looks like an airplane now. I'm gonna try to catch it. Okay, here we go. That was that light. That's the same one. It looks like an airplane and it sounds like an airplane. But it all started out as like a big ball of light. Okay, this is live. I'm live streaming this, Facebook. So people don't say that I'm a conspiracy theorist. All right, let's see if we find something else up here. There's another one over here. There we go. Here we go. Bam. Okay, I'm gonna get wet again. This is the triangular one. This is the one that has 4 lights, and I'm gonna get drenched again. Ah. Okay, where did it go? Yeah, the water is... Sorry about that. There's sprinklers on here. Okay, so this is the triangular one. It has 4 distinct lights. This one hovers. It just hovers.
So with that one hovering like that, would definitely, probably identify it more as like a drone type, especially since a plane can't stop and hover, otherwise it would fall out of the sky. What time of day was this at?
Yeah, so this was at 9. I start seeing them as soon as the sun sets. Once the moon is fully visible and the sun sets, that's when I start seeing the orbs. And what got me to do like a double take and do over and over is it's like it's synchronized. So there's always a really tiny orb, really
Just
small.
like,
It looks
I
like a
have to
speck.
Right.
And then there's one that starts to pulsate, and then after that, that's the one that looks like an airplane. It starts to create like a craft with actual wings and what looks like a fuselage or whatever, and there's these 2 bright lights, but then they always are followed by these triangular or diamond shaped things. So in the beginning I thought that, this is crazy speculation. I was like, what if the ones that look like drones are actually our government trying to engage, right?
Yeah, very possible.
Yeah, that was just a crazy thought that came to my mind when I was watching, as
But now,
a spectator.
our government isn't doing anything. So
Exactly, as a spectator, that's what I thought. Now I am like, at a loss for words. Is it okay if my husband his testimonial, because he is one of
absolutely.
the big skeptics that I've ever met in my life, and just a male perspective, because at first it was like I felt kind of like, okay, this can kind of come between us because he's not believing me and he thinks I'm crazy, and it took him about 3 days. So He wants to come and share his perspective.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is a family event because I have a 9, 7, and almost 4-year-old, and they've kind of been affected from it as well because we see them every day.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, how
bud.
you doing?
Hey, pretty good. How are you?
Great. Yeah.
I'm
So,
Mario, and
hey, Mario. So we got the video playing. I don't know if you could see
yeah,
what
no,
you're
I can.
talking.
So
Yeah.
here's the. I'm gonna give you my perspective. Friday, last Friday, was it Friday or Saturday?
It was Friday. It was a
Friday.
week ago. Mhm.
I think I was just pulling. Actually, no, I was home, and Rebecca, she called me from the road because one of our friends that was supposed to come over was here first, but she wasn't. And then she tells me that there's like things in the sky, and she doesn't think that she thinks it's abnormal, but she wanted to catch it on video. So first and foremost, I'm not into conspiracy theories. I ignore them as much as I can, and
Yeah.
unless I see tangible proof, I don't even bother to waste my time. I'm one of those guys that I don't get convinced easily. So I'm like, all right, it's just a star. I'm looking at this little, I'm not, I don't follow stars or anything like that. Okay, let's just stop wasting our time. Let's come inside. But then the second day, I noticed that at same time in the night, look up, same section is there's a star that's being shown in the sky, similar to this, and it's not moving. And then I'm like, I ignore it, I leave, I go back in the house. Then Rebecca calls me back and tells me that it's moving and that it has followers. So when I look up again, that same little star that wasn't moving for a good 10 minutes, all of a sudden it took shape. It kind of grew a little bit, and it started moving, and it was followed by other smaller, let's call them drones for lack of words here. And it was almost like they were interacting with each other, which is weird. I'm like, okay, all right, that's day 2. Day 3, same thing happens again in the same section, and we live on a golf course community, so we can walk out to the golf course. There's at night especially, it's very the skies are very clear. So I took it upon myself, and I went out there by myself, and I start seeing. I look up in the sky, and you could tell when there's an airplane because it's got some flashers, right? Those little at the end of the wings, right? You can see them from far away, especially at night, no problem. But then you hear the airplane noise as it's passing by. Well, these things weren't making noise, but they look like planes. So I'm like, all right, so okay, so it might be drones, right? But then the problem is that they come back around, they go back to that little star that turns into just a light circle, and it's almost like they connect and they disperse again. And it's just kind of like this little relationship between them, and it continues to happen. I'm like, wait, this is weird. So you start seeing all these events across the country, and I'm like, man, whoever's doing this must have the biggest budget to put this out there and confuse the crap out of people. But then I start thinking about it. I'm like, all right, so you see videos, and then the government is also holding meetings, and all this mystery. I'm like, what is the purpose? And I'm still thinking, all right, this is somebody trying to manipulate us. But then I start thinking a little deeper, and I'm like, what if this is not something that's caused by the government? What if it's something else? Your mind starts to your imagination starts to run a bit, right?
Yep.
And that's where we're at. We don't know what the heck this is, but it's 100%. Take it from a skeptic. This is not normal whatsoever, at
No, I
all.
agree. It's definitely not normal. It's out of the ordinary.
No,
Um,
it's completely out of the 100%.
I just got sent a link. It's so Andrew Brady spotted a drone in Dallas, Georgia, which I didn't even know it was a Dallas, Georgia. But let me see if I can bring that up. And
Wow, Georgia.
there we go.
That's exactly what they do. So it's one in the
Oh,
middle, and then it's
wow.
trailed by
Yes.
others,
And they split.
and then it's almost like they're dancing.
So that's what you. So there's been several
Exactly that.
reports of these. Yeah.
Right, but then what happens when they come back together? The one that's on the bottom, it starts to grow, and then they connect, and then it's disperse again.
Wow, that's a really good video.
That's exactly what happens. And the thing is that, like, where our houses, we have, there's not a whole lot of light posts around us. It's a lot of, forestry, and it's,
Right.
it's quite pleasant, very low noise. Again, it's a golf community, so we can look up in the sky and see the stars. They are not stars. Stars don't move like that, or they don't move, period.
And another thing is that, so if it's okay, if I can kind of add a little bit more details, if that's okay with
absolutely.
you. Okay. So, like I said, it's been a week. Today marks 1 week since I started seeing these things. And it's crazy because the day before I started, I saw the planet Venus, right? Actually, it's not a planet, it's a star, or the celestial body. I know it changes every other time. But anyway, I had been looking at the sky and I saw that. And I'm like, oh, that's so beautiful. But now I'm starting to think, like, was I looking at that? Was that part of the what eventually was going to show up to me? Because what's been happening is that everywhere I go, I see these orbs. I see them everywhere. And that has really shaken me up a little bit in a way that I'm like, okay, are they aware of us? Is there some kind of consciousness that is going on where they know that I am watching, and now they appear. So when I'm driving, I see it floating. And then when I parked, I went to visit my friend at the hospital in like 20 minutes south from where I live. I saw them again. So I don't know if that's part of the phenomenon.
Sorry
but
to cut you off, but what you're seeing right there, so that could happen. So if we look at our door up in the sky, we'll see that, and then behind us, there's a lake, and it's open sky, trees are low. You see it happening there as well.
Yeah.
And there's no plane sound.
Yeah, there's
zero.
Nothing. So there seems to be something else that that's happening. So my frustration right now with the media, and I just got contacted by, like I said, a local affiliate here that's supposed to be interviewing me. So hopefully this changes. But my frustration with the media is that they're telling us that what we're seeing is manned crafts, right? That there's some kind of explanation. It's an airplane or it's a helicopter.
So let's take it at that value, right? So let's say that it's manned crafts, right? But they're happening in. So we try to find, do a little research. My profession, I work as an analyst, and for IT and business, and you tend to want to dissect things and kind of break them up and piece them back together, make sense out of stuff, right? Look at processes, whatever, what have you. Very logical approach, right? Very factual based approach. And so I'm like, all right, so New Jersey, you got all these cities, they're all near the ocean, they're all near the water, and then there's reports that these things come out of the ocean and into the inner city. We're 20 minutes away from the beach. Is there any correlation there, right? And so you begin to start to like ask questions, okay, but then nobody's able to answer them.
Right.
So Rebecca's been able to look at the flight plans. I don't know the exact wording here, but
Flight radar 24.
The flight, right. And so, but the thing about it is that the radar, which we live right next to the airport, I'm about maybe 11 minutes from the airport. I've timed it many times. We pick up family members all the time. And I work from home. I hear the planes every single day. But when she's showing me the flight radar and these things are up there, no planes are passing by.
Okay.
According to the flight radar, right? So what does that mean? Is it that the traffic controllers are saying don't go by there because there's some unidentified
Yeah, there seems to be
system?
what we're noticing is that there seems to be some coordination by the air traffic controllers. When these things are showing up, they redirect air traffic south of us.
And so
no airplanes pass
our
around
neighborhood
the time.
is in direct flight path.
Yeah.
From the airport.
Yeah, for Lauderdale International.
So it's but then the radar is showing that the airplanes are flying around.
They're going, and I even did a screen recording of like for a whole minute where I showed how the planes were circulating the entire area of Plantation where Is
that your video or is that somebody else's video?
No, that's somebody. But
yeah, this is another video that was just posted.
So that looks more realistic, right? You see a plane there with the green light. That seems like like an actual drone. But the problem with the ones what's interesting about the ones that we see is that they don't stay with that shape. They
It goes in and out.
change. So it's
Yeah.
almost like they get
It's like translucent.
bigger. They get smaller. They turn into like an airplane shape. They go back to being a ball of light, and then they go out. They go out again.
Yeah, they don't maintain. I think I have a like a theory, I guess. I think the closer they get to land, I think they may. This is just a crazy talk, right? They maintain.
It's all crazy talk right now.
It's all
Right?
crazy talk, yeah.
Because it's not verifiable. But I think that the closer that they get to land, they maintain their, I guess, the appearance of an actual airplane or whatever they're trying to do. But as they're elevated really, really high, because I feel like ours are up at least 5,000 feet above the ground, they kind of look translucent. It looks like kind of like even like a vapor type thing where it's just like, I don't know. It's very weird. I've heard the word plasma being thrown around, like some kind of.
I don't even know what the heck that is, but whatever. It's not normal. Bottom line for me,
I agree. It's definitely not normal.
Zero.
And I don't know if have you seen the video from Miami Beach, that big orb that came out?
No.
I'm gonna send it to you. You want me to send it to you now?
Yeah, you can send it over and we'll link it in. It's just, but it's funny how the reports across the whole East Coast are relatively the same. People are saying the same thing, seeing the same thing. They're narrating their version of the video with the same thing. And then, when I was talking to Mayor Ryan Hurd the other day, and he came on, and he's up in North Jersey here. He was saying it seems like they're following the FAA rules up until the point when we get something close to it. Then they go dark, or they kind of completely disappear. So I believe that the closer they get to us, the more we're going to see a difference in shape and size and stuff going on. It's a lot. There's too much going on for this not to be tangible.
So I see this as a something binary. So to me, it's either and I have a hard time like saying this. Just being a super completely factual based person. I hate skepticism. It's just not something that it's in my DNA. I'm like I'm tough when it comes to that type of stuff, right? To that type of thing. So if this is orchestrated by us, I mean, it's got to be somebody with a lot of money that's actually going to go in. I mean, it's massive. Just for that type, let's just say that it's drones, that it's just, super advanced drones, that they're not available to the normal consumer, right? You got to have some money. For it to do what it does in the sky, those things got to be ultra expensive, number one. Second, to coordinate this thing across multiple states, multiple cities simultaneously and cause this social reaction at this scale, I got to give them a lot of props. This is well coordinated. That's my first theory. Second, it's not manned. It's not operated by us. It's operated by something else. Who the heck knows? Those are my only two options.
So we have a very absent governor here, Governor Murphy. Your Governor DeSantis down there, is he saying anything about this?
No, that's why I am trying to get the media to so that it kind of puts a little bit of pressure on government. I mean, I contacted Congressman Carlos Jimenez. He was in the hearings. He's from Miami. I contacted his DC office. I left a message. I've contacted our local mayor. I tried to contact our congresswoman here in our area of Plantation, and it's been zero. I mean, it's been nothing.
Yeah, and the same thing.
I feel like if the media, but politics muddies the waters too, because they all have to, and Trump is also a resident here. So I just feel like if the media picks it up, because Florida is the state where Trump lives, I think it might kind of change a little bit the narrative. I think it's I don't know.
Yeah, to answer your question, yeah, it's been no mention by our governor or local officials.
Yeah.
with the attention that I feel it deserves. I don't know why. If I had to take a wild guess, it would be that they don't know what the heck it is, and they're trying to figure it out. Because, and that's a little bit alarming, because not knowing what it is, if it's an actor, right? It's okay. What does that pose for the community? Is that a dangerous situation? If it's extraterrestrial, and I have a hard time saying that, I promise you that I do. Um, it's even crazier, right? But again, two binary options. An actor at a very level, or something that is not from here.
Right.
Right.
So
So
What
I don't know.
is? Have you guys been? Has I don't know if in Jersey, in the Jersey Shore area, they have seen something similar to this. This is from Miami Beach, and then a lady recorded and posted it on Twitter. The same type of
You sent that
light
to him?
source, yeah, the same type of light source going into the condos that are around Miami Beach. So it was seen.
It's not a
kind of
sunset, is it?
No, no, because it elevates. It comes out of the water.
Sunset. Oh, that's coming up. Also,
Yeah.
you're gonna see it come up.
Yeah, I think that's.
I haven't
the one.
seen this. This is the first time that I see this.
yeah, it's the first time I'm seeing
Yes.
it from out of Miami.
No, it's UAP drones coming out of the water in Florida. And then I'm going to send you a follow-up video to that one.
That is nuts.
That corroborates
That I haven't seen. That's the
Yeah.
first. It's the first time I see that. That's not. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. There's a floating theory that these things are coming they're coming out of the ocean, of the Atlantic. Which is crazy.
And it looks like there's something there in the water also, right below that. Like
Yeah, that's. I
Well,
mean,
there's
it's clearly not the sun, because it would be turning daytime out.
yeah, and then I'm going to send you the one from Miami Beach.
I don't think you can do a photo edit to make that look the way it does. That does not look like, or even AI.
It's
Yeah. Well, it's corroborated by the next video that I just sent. I think that's the one. Yeah, so there's also a video of a cruise of people that are in the cruise that are seeing something in the water that's
Going back to the original question, how do you
Yeah.
orchestrate this if someone here is behind all this? Like,
this.
I mean,
This
it would
has
take.
to be right. It has to be something from out of this world, or on such a large scale. It would definitely have to be probably a foreign government.
But think about that though. Like, wouldn't these things be being shot down by now?
Well, we would hope, but we had those two balloons that traveled all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast, and they didn't get shot down until they were over the Atlantic Ocean. So they did have a chance to survey the entire country. That video is not loaded, Rebecca.
Chinese balloons. Actually, one of those got shot down eventually. I remember.
Yeah, they shot it down over the Atlantic, but it was already too late. We were, it surveyed the entire country.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm gonna send you the one from X because I had saved it to my phone, but this is probably gonna be easier for you to source it.
Is this another angle of the same one?
No,
I
it's
don't know
different.
if it's the same one, but it's in
Okay.
the same area. It's Miami Beach.
Oh, I haven't seen that
That
one.
went right in front of the building.
Yes.
That is
So
crazy.
you cannot say that that's a helicopter or anything because of the way that it maneuvered into the. So that one went viral. But what's interesting is none of our community. There's Instagram pages that have over 1 million followers, and none of them have
Three sisters.
reposted this. So I think there's some kind of. They don't want to cause mass hysteria. I'm thinking here in Miami and the South Florida area. I don't think they want to circulate anything right now. It just feels like that. They rather just talk about the party life.
Sure.
Holidays.
Yeah, it might be a little too late though. Now it might be coming out soon.
It's out there. People are talking about it. So there's no taking it back now.
I just finally heard back from the reporter, and she asked me for my number, and I said, I've been sending you this information for a week now. Now it's gone mainstream, and my video's gotten almost 2 million views. And she finally said, "Okay, hey, what's your name?"
Yeah, but you know how it is for them. For them is
It's about ratings.
It's about ratings.
They want
right?
to
So
they want to make sure they have that it doesn't come out as like, oh, we're the only ones reporting it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yep.
now that Trump mentioned it for the first time. I think gives everybody the red light. I mean, the green light to say, okay, we can report on it now. But that's insane. That Miami one is insane because the one coming out of the water, and then that one kind of corroborates that this is not some CGI.
So I think this is the one that they said where it came out of the water. So if you could see, the water's actually glowing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's. Yep, the one from the cruise ship looks just like that too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on. So, well, I'm going to shut down for the evening. Rebecca, I thank you for coming on. Mario, thanks for coming on. I'm going to regroup over the weekend and probably get back to this maybe Monday or Tuesday, but I'll post up when I'm going to go live again and get some more information. Good luck with the reporter. Good luck in plantation. Keep the calm. And I appreciate you guys coming on.
All right.
Likewise.
All
Take
right,
it easy.
Thank you so much for having us. You have a wonderful
Absolutely.
weekend.
Have
Thank
a
you.
great night.
Okay, you too.